Hi. Welcome back to the design studio. I put a feeler out there earlier to show you what I had made like 5 years ago as far as angel wings. And then we did a tutorial yesterday for the dog Lavender Angel tree topper or wall hanging. And then we were talking, me and the group members, about, sometimes you can do little add-ons. Not that this one will be one of those, but we got to talking about angel wings, and then they were like, have you ever made one? I was like, yeah, it's been a while. And when I did mine a long time ago, there was only a handful of petals or ways that you could fill the Deco mesh that would make it look good. And at that time, it was all there was. And so now there's been mass improvements. People are still innovating and creating their own looks. So, so that I can give credit where credit's due, I did a lot of research all morning long today and then a little bit last night. And the person that I liked who had the best end result was Crafty Creations by CV. So that's kind of where I got the base method from. And then I'm doing my own little flourish on the Deco mesh. So there's a lot to cover. So before we get started, let me making sure that everything is there. I see Elizabeth there. Let me just double check and refresh all my screens and make sure everything is operating the way that it's supposed to. It's hot here today. It's like 80 degrees almost in my shop, which is smoking hot. Let me just double check. Facebook shows live, so we're good there. Okay. So in order to save a copy of this tutorial, if you were on YouTube, just click the save button. Then you're good to go. You have all the tutorial when you're ready to do it. If you're on Facebook, remember Facebook does not allow you to store videos longer than 30 days. So you can do a copy paste from my Facebook page to your Facebook page by clicking the share button. And then that'll pop over to your Facebook page. Download it within 30 days, otherwise it's gone forever. If you want to be notified when I go live, which is every Tuesday at 4 and every Thursday at 2 Pacific time, if you're on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button, hit the subscription bell, and then you're subscribed on YouTube. Anytime I either upload a new tutorial, which every Friday, I'm uploading new videos to YouTube subscribers only, so you can catch those every Friday after 5 p.m. as long as everything's working in the world of technology. And if you're on Facebook, just make sure that you have clicked the like button on the page, and then you're going to want to go over to the 3 little dots, click the 3 little dots. It'll open up a smaller menu. Just make sure turn notifications is on. Now, hi Joan. Hi Cheryl. Elizabeth says you're supposed to get flash floods. Yeah, I saw you guys are supposed to get some crazy weather. Let me post my website. I've been so busy running around trying to get everything done. I didn't even have time to list this wreath. Well, and that's a good thing because I don't really know end result, how much material is going to go into it. So we're going to figure that out as we go. So let me move my paperwork that I had here. So I have like my cheat sheet notes. So I'm going to be like referring to those. So it's like, I haven't made it yet. I've just watched it and took notes. So we're going to put it together ourselves and see how it turns out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down, showing you what we're doing. So in the past, we have used, oops, let me find it. One of these. This was the Unique in the Creek wing board. People used it for bees, ladybugs, butterflies, Some people were using it for the angel wings. I think that's what I actually did my angel wing tutorial on way back 5 years ago. And so now, the one thing that I've noticed is when you're building an angel wing, you kind of want open wings. You want it to be like a wing here and a wing here and openness in the middle. So this doesn't work because there's something in the center. So we're going to try something totally different. And this is where I clicked on that Creations, what is it? Crafty Creations by CV. So we're using the 14-inch. It's not 14-inch, I don't think. Let me just double check. This is 13 inches from point to the highest where it hits up here on the end. And then, let me do it here. Going from end to end, it's a 13 inch. So 13 inch at its longest up here and at its widest point, 13 inches. It only is comprised of 3 rings. It does have a slightly elevated form. So Dollar Tree, as much as you guys are going to hate me, Dollar Tree has discontinued their heart frames, so these are not available. But you can still get them during Valentine's season, or you can find someone who's selling their remnants of what they have left. But Hobby Lobby comes pretty close. They have one that is 6 sections, which this one is. There are others that are a little bit bigger. I think they're an 18 inch, which means that it's going to be massive, probably a little too large. And they have more sections to fill. So giving you all the dimensions so that when you're ready to order one, that's where you're going to want to go. I have a couple left, so I was super excited. I came out here and at first I couldn't find them and I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to have to like figure it out. So we're going to be using this plus 2 of the Unique in the Creek rectangle boards. So that is going to form our base. You're going to need some zip ties because we're going to zip tie all of our pieces to this. You will need 2 rolls of Deco mesh, and I'll show you the petal technique and how you're going to do all that stuff. If you want to add a bow, you can, put a bow in the center. If you want to add florals, you can put florals in the center. We're doing florals and a bow. So we're going to see how this one turns out. This is just a demo. It's our beginner. So the first thing that I want to do is we're going to remove and separate this little corner section down here. So I have my meaty wire cutters. And so I'm going to cut that off. Cut this off. And we're cutting out the corner. Because remember I said it has to be open. That's what sets angel wings apart from all the others, is you need that openness. So I'm kind of going in here with that. Getting that one done. And I'm trying to get as close as possible so I don't really have to worry about the rough edges with my wire cutters. And there you have it. So this is going to give you the shape. So it allows us to stretch this out a bit. So this is the arch of our wings. Okay. Take this one off just a bit right here. Got a little bit of a short tail. I don't want to go because I don't want to break the weld. There we go. So I'm trying to get them pretty even. There we go. Okay, no rough edges. If you feel the need, you can go ahead and tape those down, but we're going to be adding these to this frame, so you won't need to. However, we do need to cut. It's weird because this one's kind of cut funky here, but we are going to cut this section right here in the center. Just on the center part. I'm actually going to take a little chunk out. So I'm going to do that. Try to take my little chunk out. Might have to refine that a little bit more so that when I bring these together, I can, if I was to stretch them out, this is preventing that from happening. So I just need to bring those two together. And then in order to keep the spacing there, I'm going to see if I can get this to go all the way around. Oops. I'm just using a 6-inch zip tie. And that's going to keep that tension point there so that we're good to go there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this little one in the inside. Not that we need to worry about it because you're not going to put anything really inside. Smaller cutters. I'm going to go ahead and remove the end of that zip tie. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. So Christina said, I would love to create an angel for my daughter's gravesite and other family members. Well, then this is definitely something for you. Okay, so Unique in the Creek rectangle boards. You can order them from uniqueinthecreek.com. You can also order them from Craft Outlet, and you get them in a set of 2, which is exactly what you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of, right now, the angel wings, if we just, and a lot of people have done it just like this, and that's where it ends, but this is really short, so we want to elongate these. I'm thinking now that if you have 2 of the candy cane forms, you might be able to get that to go without using these. I'll have to like think that one through. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to line up starting on row number D, and we're going to take a zip tie. And what we're going to do is zip tie the outside rail to the outside hole. So on row D. Okay, then I'm doing it here. Oops, back up here, same thing. And I know it's loose right now, but I want to at least get them all in where they're supposed to go, and then we'll tighten them all up together, and then it should give us a really snug fit. So let's get somewhat close. And then I want to gravitate and grab this one right here on the outside. So it's kind of got a little wonky corner here. So there's that. Lining these up. And I want it to end here. This is where it's going to start. So zip tie down, zip tie down, zip tie down, just on the left side. So I have it on row D. Row G. Did they do that right? Let me look. No, it says we're supposed to do row H. I did it too high. Okay, let me just pop this one. So D, E, F, G, H, right here. Okay. Which is why we wait and zip tie them all together. Okay. So at the bottom of your section, easy way to remember, top of your section there. And we're going to go ahead and do that side. And then we're going to come over to the other side and do exactly the same thing. Making sure you start at the bottom of your board with the letter A. And we're going to go up to D and do the same thing on the opposite side. So we are going through the outside, outside, outside. Okay. Then we're going to take that up to the letter H. I marked this one right. I just didn't mark the other one right. Okay, come on. There's that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do that tight curl and get that one in here for this. So second one in, grabbing our bar, and then we're going to start tightening here because we really want these lined up. So I'm going to go here, there, and there. There we go. Gonna kind of pull that up a bit so it's not sliding off. Let's see if I can get that to kind of come back up and over. Let me go ahead and just slightly do that. Get the ring to bend. Another zip tie. Trying to make sure they're somewhat uniform. We just need a couple of the extended holes. That's the only reason why we're zip tying it to this board. So there we go. Snap, 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 and there we go. So you can make them wider, you can bring them closer, whatever you want to do. I'm just making sure that this inside section here stays open so that all of our pieces are going to go here, and then we have openness in the center. So that takes care of adding the wireframe to the two rectangle forms. Now we're going to wire the board together, which I'm going through my notes. So we're going to take our first zip tie, and I'm using 6-inch zip ties. We're going to go middle holes. So we're starting on letter A. Okay, we're going to need a few of these. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Right here. Okay, and then we are doing that for row B, just the center. Okay, row B. Because this will give us the length for those the angel wing tips that I think you'll enjoy. And then we are doing C is going to be outer side. So we're going to do one here. And we're doing one here. So we're just using the middle holes and the external outside here. So we'll do that here as well. This is row C, doing the middle to the outside. Okay, then for row D, which is where we have our little zip tie thing going on right now, we're going to put another one there. So we're going to actually put some of ours here. And then this is where I'm looking at the photos that I took. Okay. And then we're doing one to the middle, just the middle rail of this rail. So just let that flop. And then we are doing two to the outside. So we're going to go back and wire so I can get that in, just like we did the one before. So just like that. So I'll reiterate that on this side. We are doing the inside two. Okay. Inside two, like we did. We're doing a free form to the middle rail of our wreath form. And then we're going to line one up right in here for the outside edge. It's like shared hole with what we attached our wreath form to. Okay. And then for, let's see, we've done A, B, C, D, and we're going to actually skip E, and then we are going into F, and we're going to go outer, and now we're doing Hold on, looking. I'm just trying to read my notes. To inner right on the middle bar. Oops, I always keep moving these down. We're going to do these two again on the middle. And let me just double check and look at my photos and make sure that I've got them right. And it looks like we're doing, I keep looking for zip ties. It looks like we're doing another one to the inner right. So we're going to do in here. Okay, so 1 to the outside, 2 to the middle, 2 to the outside. Then I'm going to do the same over here. We're skipping E. So on F, we're doing the 2. We're doing the 1 to the outside. This is also going to help reinforce your frame all the way through. And then we are doing, I'm looking, hold on. It's so hard to tell. And of course, my notes are not 100%. Hold on. Okay, I've done that right. We're going to go in here. Okay, come on, girl. There we go. Trying to pull that one up on the inside. Okay, so skipping E, we have this one. We've done our 3 on F, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on G. And so let's do G now. Outside only. We're doing the 2 insides. And we are doing 1 to the middle. Oops. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to do that for here. So we've got the 2 insides. Oop. Need to get that to come up. The outside. And the middle. Okay. Now for letter H, we are doing the outside here. We're going, oops, right here. It's supposed to be right in the middle. Let me double check. Yes, we're supposed to go around the middle. Right here. I'm going to kind of go like a little zigzag so it won't slide down too far. And then we're doing the 2. The 2 here. Okay. Oops, forgot to go down. Down and then up. Trying to get that through. Okay. So on letter H, more zippy ties. We are doing outside 2, like we did. We're doing the outside shared right here. And we're doing 1 right here in the center, just in that crisscross of rails. I wasn't sure about that because I didn't hear the zip. And then letter, let's see, I'm looking at This is H, letter I. We're doing the 2 outside, so we're going out and then in here. We're putting 1 on just the center. It's just going to free float here. Oops. And then we are doing the outer right. It's going right in here. Okay. Just like that. Now, I think we're on letter J. So let me go back here and make sure we've gotten our eyes. So I was outside 2, which means go down, cat, and come up. And I'm just looking at, and we are doing, I'm looking at H. We've already done H. I is floater in the center. And then we're doing the outside 2. 1. Trying to get that up. Come on. There we go. Get that to go under. There we go. Okay, now letter J, the last one here. We are doing the let's see. I think we're doing this. We're putting 3. We are doing 2 right here in the center. So we're doing the center here. Okay. We're going to do a center here. Oops. I need to pull that around so I can feed one up through here. Okay. And then we are doing, this stays open. We just do 1 here. And then what we're going to do is we are doing, let me see. Open bottom. We don't touch that. We've got this. Hang on, let me switch my picture. Okay. Then we are going to, here on the outside, we're going to add 3 just here to the outside rail. They're just going to free float until we actually get wings on them. 2. Oops. 3. And we're going to put 2 in the middle. So here. Actually, we're doing 4 on the outside. That's right. She changed it at the very end. So 4 here, 3 in the center. They just float. And we're not putting anything in the very, very center. So here, we're going to put 4 on the outside. We're actually almost done wiring our board. So 4 to the outside. Those are just 4 inches. We're not using those. Probably could have gotten away with them, but 4 here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're doing 3 just on the middle. So in the middle, 1, 2, 3. I don't want to use that small little one. Let's get one more normal size. Okay, just like this. Now, before I go ahead and get too far, this is the one thing I want to do ahead of time is I'm going to add the hanger. So my hanger is going to actually go something similar to this. So I'm actually going to go around the back just like this. Put my zip tie in, and then this will become our hanger on the back. So I'm just going to put that in now before I forget it. Okay. Oh, you're answering questions?
Yeah.
Charlotte's like, oh my God, this is quite creative. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So where did you get the tool you're using? So this is just, what do they call this? A Musada. It's just a high-tech, it's a little easier. Yeah, it's just a wire cutter, but it's got a little bit of a bigger bite, so it's easier for you if you have not great grip strength. Okay, board's wired. Looks kind of crazy right now. But now let me show you the petals. So there are two different styles. There's the one for the right and there's the one for the left. And you need to keep them separate because you don't want to confuse them. So let me show you how you build them. You are going to use our infamous 10-inch by 10-inch piece of Deco mesh, cut with a wood burning tool. This is known as a wide foil laser cut silver Deco mesh.
Probably prefer a white foil.
Hmm?
I would prefer a white foil.
No, it's silver.
I know, but I mean wide.
Yes, prefer wide. And you can use it with anything. You can do snowball mesh. You can do iridescent mesh. You can do value mesh. You can do whatever you want. You can even combine them and use a whole bunch of leftovers. Just make sure that whatever you're loading on your board, you're consistent on the right and the left together. So like if you're doing snowball here, you do snowball there. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep it the same on both sides. So for the left side, you are going to, here's our finished edge. You're going to turn that left edge, left edge, left petal method. So as long as your edge is on the left hand side, you're going to go corner to corner, and then you're just going to line up your ends. It's easy if you take like chip clips or paper clips or clothespins and just gather your edges together here so those stay close. And then we are going to fold up once, just slightly, and then you're going to gather right up the center, okay? And you're going to pull those wings together like that. So you just wrap it around your finger. Just make sure they're both about the same height. Then from here, I'm going to remove my finger, okay? Got a little nub there. I'm going to take a little mini rubber band and, oops, I dropped it. I'm going to rubber band it twice. Okay, so I've got it twice. And then what I want to do is run my finger up inside here. And I want to flip this around so that our finished edge is now on this side. And I'm going to finish rubber banding. We'll do this a couple times. We're going to go ahead and remove the clips. And so these, so when we lay them in our board, right, we're laying them in our board this way. Finished edges are on top, not the unfinished edges on top. That's how you're going to be able to tell. So this will be on the left hand side. So, and you can fluff them out really pretty so that you've got really gorgeous looking feather like angel wings. Put those on your left hand side. Then when you're ready to do your right hand side, totally opposite. Here's our finished edge. We want to take the finished edge and move it here. And then we want to go corner to corner. And then we want to clip the end. Same thing, clip the end. Just helps to hold it down. Fold your little piece up in the middle. And then gather. You're going to twist. Same thing, loop it around. Okay. I'm going to get my little rubber band. I have black. I don't have the clear. They didn't have clear when I went to Dollar Tree. So we're going to go twice. Okay. And this one's a little bit different. We're going to take the bottom one and roll it underneath the opposite side. And then finish. I always suck at rubber bands right now because I don't use them often enough. And so these become the right side wings. So as you can see, finished edges on top facing different directions. So you can take these off. So this would be the left, these would be the right, and these would be your left. So finished edges always on top. Okay. We'll do that a couple more times, but let's go ahead and load in the front of the board so you can at least see what they look like. So it's good. I have all my right side pieces on the right hand side and all the left hand side on the left. So they're already done, except for 2 more pieces that I'll show you. You should have, if I've wired this board correctly, we should have 29 on each side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Obviously, I'm probably going to add more in here. I probably missed it somewhere or I miscounted, but 29 in each side. Grand total of, what is that, 56? 58. 58. So we're starting with the left-hand side. We're just going to put that in. We're going to zip it. Zip it and clip it. Okay. Then I'm going to go over here and we're going to do another one right on top, making sure we've got our left side facing the correct direction. So the finished edge on top, going to slide this right inside. I'm just double checking. I'm just looking. It's kind of interesting because it almost looks like she puts 2 in here to get these going. So let me look. This might be where we end up putting another one because I'm looking and it looks like there's 1 here. But according to my directions, let's see. If we do, that's our right. We do these. And do these. Oh, I think we're okay. Let's keep going. I'm going to keep doing that. Although I'm still looking at that and I'm thinking it looks very familiar. I'm thinking I'm just seeing this one here, but it looks like there's 1 here. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 here. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1 to my outside edge right here. Like, I personally feel it should be here, but I'm going to go ahead and just go with my gut. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Again, oop, snap that. I'll come back in and add my whatchamacallit, my zip tie, get that zip tied back in. We're going to come in and do the outside too. Okay, outside too. Again, making sure our finished edges are on the outside. There's 1. And I like to give them a little bit of a fluff before we put them in. Hold on. This one. Wrong way. Wrong way, cat. Wrong way. Should have known. You were supposed to catch me. Okay, so we're going to cut cut. And before I get too far, I'm going to go ahead and do this side as well. Okay. So right hand side, we're doing our right. And okay. I'm just like really stretching that out so that I can get it to have the desired look that I want it to have. Like right there. Now I'm going to go and add in our inside one. Remember we had one in here for the second one. And then we're going to take our wings and lay them inside right here. Go ahead and do another one, laying them back in, just right there. And I'm trying to keep the zip ties right over my rubber bands so we don't necessarily need to see that. Okay. Now we're going to, we had one here and one to the outside. So right over my rubber band. Just for cosmetic reasons, I mean, I don't necessarily have to be that particular, but I was just bummed I didn't have any of the clear or white rubber bands. So right here, so you can kind of see how our angel wings are taking form. Okay. Then, yeah, well, folded edges are here. Folded edges here. They're all, yeah, and then the outside edge is nice and smooth. Just like that. Okay. From here, we're going to go ahead and continue the process. We're going to add one here to the outside. Okay, there's that one. And then I'm going to do the inside one first, because then I can put my other one on top. We're just layering them on top of each other. Hi Carmela, hi Marshall, hi Trisha from Minnesota. Cheryl says, I'm surprised you're able to walk after your 7-hour weeding adventure. Yeah, that was a nightmare. Don't ever want to do that again. So I'm going right here. So remember the loose one that we had? It's just going right in here on that rail. I have it the wrong way, so I'm going to remove that. I put it in the wrong way. It should go this way. So just to freeze, I position them in wrong. So this should go this way. Right to our metal. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to come over here and do the same on the other side using petals from the left hand side. So I'm going to come in here, grab my wing petal, get that loaded up. You can like load all of your pieces in and then come back in and take all your zip ties off in one fell swoop. I'm just moving them out of the way so I don't have them in the way. So there's that one. And then here is our center one. Okay. Again, smooth side towards you, finished edge on the upper. This is where we're getting that free middle one. It's just going right to the middle rail. Okay. And we'll come back and fluff these if we need to fluff them. Okay. Going back over to this side. We are going to place this one right in here. Oop. Come on, cat. Smooth side toward the outside. There's that one. We're going to do the middle, just like we did here. And then we're doing a middle, because we have our free floating middle. Smooth side, facing just like this. Okay. Go back to the other side. And we're going to do the same. Grab 3 of those. And we're going to go right here on the outside. There's one. We have, I just like to give them a really good fluff. And I'm going to place that one in. Okay. And rather than put that right in the center, I'm just going to go right to the middle. I didn't like how when I went to close that zip around the wire, it was like pulling the wire down to the frame. So I'm going to let it be free floating. And I'm just going to wire this one directly to the frame itself. Okay. Moving them around. Making sure I'm not throwing away anything I don't mean to throw away. Here we go. The end here. We are doing another one to the outside edge. Okay. And again, I'm going to cut this middle one just so I can put it a little free floating in the center, because otherwise it pulls that metal down to the depth of the board and it really puts a strain on it. So I'm just going to do this here, right in here. Okay. And back to the other side. What do you think of our wings so far? They're very full. Compared to the ones that we made before, I like these ones much, much better. So back inside, grab this from the other. And we'll get our inside one. Right in here. Okay. And you can see we're covering the board nice, so you can't see that gray Unique in the Creek board there. This one's just, oh no, I have this one here I have to fix. That has to come off. Let me grab some more zip ties. Always grab the wrong ones. Always. Always, always, always. Not that I need that many, but free floating. Right side. Okay. Right in here. Okay. Back to the other side. We're going to put our piece to the outside. So right out here. Making sure I get that really tight. We've got our piece to the other side there. Did I do that one wrong? Felt like I did. Oh. We just need to get the center in. So this one's on our crossbar. So trying to get that right over here. Get that to lay down nice and pretty. Okay. Rolling this along. Right over here with our wreaths. We are right in here. We're slowly going to be making the turn. And we have our other one here. And then our center on the crossbar. Right there. Okay, back over to the other side. Looks nice and pretty though. You should see it on this side where it's like super shiny, like rainbow kind of hued. Okay, we're on the left hand side. So we now have to come up here. We're angling these slightly. So we're going to be going around the horn. Okay. I'm just moving the other ones. We're going to go ahead and put our outside piece in. Right here. Okay. And then we're grabbing one of our centers. And I'm going to place that right on the center. There we go. Okay. Go to the other side. Grabbing our other pieces. We're taking outside. We're almost finished. Like I said, new technique for me. I haven't done this before. Figuring it out as we go. We're doing our outside one here. Got to get that one in. And then our middle. Yeah, really full, right? But it represents a true pair of angel wings because you get one on one side, one on the other, and you don't have anything in the center. Okay, this is where it gets challenging. We're going to finish right here on our left. So we're going to go here, and that's going to cover our board. Okay. Nice and pretty right there. We're going to be taking one on the top. Right here. Okay. Just like that. And now we're going over to this side. One. To the edge. This covers that corner.
Is that one
this is actually a left side. So let me look. There we go. So right here, corner, good catch, Steve. Right there. And a center. That's so weird too. I'm like, I must have tossed it over there. We'll keep it. So now we're going to grab a center. Okay. Now this is just when it gets kind of crazy because it's just going to be free flowing on the form itself. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to always do one to the outside, one to the inside. So oh, I've got this one we can use. Yeah. So here's our outside. Okay. Thank you for bringing this over. I have them all like tucked underneath my computer because I was like, I don't want to like mix any of them up. And then one over here. Okay. Just like that. Gonna come back over here and do that other side. So I'm gonna grab these two. So just grab whichever one you have. There's that. And we're doing the inside. Okay. And now we're going back to the opposite side. I'm trying to get them up here. Right on top. This is where we're getting our arched wing. So we don't have things sticking out up here. And right to our center. Yes, those are the ones I want to grab. Here's this one. Okay. I'm going to actually put those under just like that. Back to this side. 1, 2, and then I have to make some more petals because we have those sitting over there. So you guys will get to learn how to make the petals again for this. So there's that one. And then we're going to grab our center. Oops. Trying to get it in there. And now we need to create some more petals. I think I have one left that I can do over here. So let me go ahead and push this one in. So at this point, we're just putting, I think it's 2 more. So I'm going to come in here, right here on our little band. Get that to come down.
Christina said, is there anything that can preserve it from harsh weather to make it last longer? Because I want it at my daughter's grave site.
You can spray it with UV protection, but it's going to always wear because it's outside, right? Wind's blowing it. You can, I think the things that I would probably recommend is I would spray the whole thing with E6000 just to keep the fibers, in place. And then I would UV protection everything. And then read the back of your UV protection. Get the marine one because those are meant to be outside all the time. And then read the back. It'll tell you have to reapply it every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, and then you'll just have to respray. Okay.
And Christina, if you don't know, E6000, it's a spray glue.
It's like
that
this.
You can spray on. It's kind of a milky white.
Yeah,
but it dries clear.
It's like a watered down glue. So E6000 adhesive spray. Just spray the whole thing. Let it dry 24 hours. Or if you're in a hurry and want to speed it up, do the blow dryer thing.
You could probably tie sticks to the bottom of it and just stick it into the grass too.
Probably, now that we're doing those little edge things, you could probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish our petals. I need 1, 2 on this side, and I think I need, I'm trying to look. I have 1 more, it's right here. 1 more on this side that we have to put in.
Christine, that's also a great idea. Yeah, you could tie that to the back and make it a girl's Halloween costume.
Yeah, because that would be the whole back, and maybe just put straps on the underside.
Some just elastic straps or something.
Man, that is like super cool. I was replying to Linda Rosanna. I've been wanting to put one on my mom and sister's grave for a few years, but I know they'll steal it. Last year I had made angels to their gravesite. They stole them. Oh, that sucks. And your dad passed at the end of January. Yeah, so they're gorgeous. And like I said, you can understand why. There's still no reason why you should be stealing stuff from people's graves. I think that's just morbid. But let me show you how to make the petals again. Remember, it's different. The right side and the left side petals are totally different. So we're going to do the left. I need 1 more left and 2 more right. So the left is finished edge here. This is 10 by 10 each Deco mesh. We're going to pivot it, put it on its side, and we're going to go corner to corner. And what I'm going to do is just clip the ends, like once I get them to a good point. Because I'm so picky on points. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. There's the other one over here. We're going to fold the one up in the center. We're going to gather, okay? It's going to actually just fold right around your finger. So put your index finger down and just drag these up around your index finger. You can see mine's still there. Make sure your tips are even. So if you need to, just even those out. And then this is where I'm going to take, I put rubber bands away. You're going to take a small little rubber band. And you're going to go around it twice. Okay. And then for the right side, we want to make sure that the finished edge, there's always like an unfinished edge and a finished edge. We want the finished edge on the left-hand side to be here. So I'm going to place my finger underneath and I'm going to take this piece and push it and flip it over to the other side. Oop, got my chippy clip stuck. And then I'm just going to kind of right side those just like that. So now you have finished edge here, finished edge here. It's just better for wear and tear. Take out your chip clips and you can just give them like a little fluff, little adjustment. There's always like that flap, so sometimes I like to take advantage of that flap and really like fan it out. So this way, when we go and we put them down, see, this would be the wrong way. So this is why this is a left edge, whatchamacallit? Yeah, wingtip, petal, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to get my little zip tie underneath here out from all the other pieces. So I'm going to actually just cut this because it's underneath my little tie. So let's put another one in. So it's actually going, that's not even anything. It was like a half of a nothing. So this is our hanger. I don't want it on my hanger. And I want it back here on this rail. I don't want it up here in this center section. So there's that. Got that all prepped and ready to go. And my petal. Finished sides up. We're going to place that right here in the center. This is where you're going to have to get some finesse and finesse it down. And remember how I said that they kind of had 29 pieces? I'm thinking you can bring these other ones down a bit like that. And we're going to do something totally different with the center. So we're going to leave this section undone. So here we're going to do 2 pieces because we need to get our 2 here finished. So the right side goes completely the opposite. I'm going to push that out of the way. So finished edge, now move it to the right. So just remember, the right edge pieces will have your edging on the right. The left side will be on the left. And then you're always pulling from either the top corner here or the top corner here. So right side, you're going to pull here. Left side, you're going to pull here. Okay? Right side, all the way down to the corner. Line them up. You can put your little clips in them. Line that one up. Clip. And then you're going to fold up. And then you're going to gather. Put your index finger in the center and wrap it around your index finger, just like that. Christina, 2 rolls of Deco mesh is all you need. You'll have a little bit left. Okay, and then we're gonna rubber band that. And like I said, if you guys get to Dollar Tree and they don't have the clear, just look. You can't see my rubber bands on there. So now the right one's a little bit different. We're not going to be rolling this one under. We're going to be rolling this under that. So you're going to separate here, flip it, and then go ahead and finish rubber banding your piece. Go ahead and take those off. And so now we have our right side pieces. So we're going to do that one more time. So finished edge, we're making a right side piece, goes to the right. Corner to corner. Okay. Line up your edges. Put your little clips in them. Little clips. Fold it up. And then gather. Put your finger in the center. Rotate them around. Just make sure your ends are straight. Then go ahead and rubber band it twice. So there's one. And remember, we want the finished edge here, so we're going to get this one. And we're rolling them under the other. Okay. And then we're going to finish rubber banding it. Just like that. Boom, boom. Okay, those 2 pieces are finished. Can fluff them a little bit, but remember these ones are going on that top rail. So that one's going there. This one's going to kind of fit right down on top. Nice little snug fit. And then we're going to do our last one. So this is going to kind of come in here. Oop. Nice snug little fit. Okay. Just go ahead and separate those any which way you like. As you can see, we now have, let me move all that. Our angel wings now have separation. There's a separation here. And everything is nice and smooth, and it all goes in conjunction there. Okay, we have our hanger already attached. If you want to add additional pieces, you could. I don't really think it needs it because you're going to see what we're going to do here is going to be amazing. Do you guys have any questions about the petals? About left and right? You can go back and watch it if you need more clarification on like where to put all your zip ties. And then of course, if you're building this and you want extra pieces, like I'll try to do one for there. So
I'm just interested to see how you finish that.
Of course you are. So was I, and I was like, oh, it makes it look really, really super nice. So I'm just going to do this one. Fold it up, rotate it around. Rubber band twice. Flip it under. finish. Oop. I don't know how people do these on little girls' hair. I'd be ripping their hair out. Okay, so this would be our right hand side. If you wanted to, you can come in here, but you kind of don't need to. But if you wanted to, you can kind of come in, and if you, I'm thinking I might want to put another piece in there and maybe one piece in there. So let me do that just for that inside piece. Right, it's the first time, so I'm going to make improvements to yield the look I want. So there's that one. We're making the left. So it almost looks like I'm building the same petal, but it's the way that I'm folding it that is determining which side it goes on. So I'm thinking we need one more. So I'm going to go this side. No, I'm good. I have one on each side. Trying to get that last one in. Okay. So I have this one here. See? So I'm going to put this, I'm going to go down to that bottom piece right here. Right in here. The very bottom. Okay. I'm going to go right in here. And I'm going to zip tie that right onto my frame. And then I'm going to do the same. Come on. The same right in here. Oop. So right in here, got to get that facing the right way. There we go. So I'm just bringing that in right before that bar because I need access to both of these straight bars, which you'll see here in a second. Okay, so right here on the end. There's that. So right underneath here, I need to grab the zip tie end. And then snip. There we go. So that it kind of helps cover that up a little bit more. Now, you guys ready to see the middle? I like purple. So I'm going to show you. We're going to make a bundle that looks like this of greenery. Okay? So I'm going to show you.
Cola, she said, I really enjoyed this one, Kat. It's been...
Oh, in Scotland?
She's in Glasgow, Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for joining us. So, and I'm adding a piece of eucalyptus. I'm going to add another piece of eucalyptus here. Okay, and then I have this pick, which is kind of like a sagey, it's not really flocked, it's just called everybody's favorite mixed bush from the Greenery market. So it has some berries, it has some fern, has everything else in it, and I'm just kind of putting those together, giving some movement to the fern, kind of readjusting that however you like. And then I like to take them, I like to twist them around the bottoms together, just for extra support. Okay, and then I'm going to snip the whole thing off. There we go. I'm going to use a zip tie and zip tie this just for extra strength. Okay, so one set of greenery, two sets of greenery. These now, this is what Steve was wondering about. These are actually going to go along this section of our frame. So let me flip this around so it's facing me. Okay, So this is going to go along that straight piece that we have here. So the straight that's there, right here, that's where it's going. So we're going to zip tie that there, one above the little cross. So right here above the cross, so it doesn't like the little crossbar. And I'm going above where my zip tie is so it won't slip down.
I guess if you just want to use it for a gravestone, you can just put a big white bow in the middle of it.
You could, or you can finish this tutorial with me and see if you like the way it all looks when I finish. So there's one. Then I'm going to take this other zip tie and I'm going to do the same here. Zip tie it here. Okay, just like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side along. Oops. I want to actually cut this because, let me get my bigger bite pliers, because it's sticking out too far. There we go. So we're going to put this one right on this side. So they're kind of going, you know what, let's put them along these. Let me take these ones off. There's that. And that one. So I'm going to actually put them along here. That V. Ugh. Okay. So I'm going above my zip tie. That way it won't slide. Another one goes in here. Just to reinforce it. We'll do this same on the other side right here, so they'll kind of have like a nice little cross thing in the center. So I want to make sure this is on my cross member. Now I'm going to slide that in and make sure I can secure it right on the top. And then we'll do another one to hold it here in the bottom. Okay. Whoop. I'm on the wrong side of that pick. Darn it. I got on the wrong side of it. It like looped on the other side. So there we go. Greenery added. Ba-boom. Okay. Nice little greenery spray going on. You can readjust them any which way you like. Now we're going to add a floral bundle that looks like this. So this floral bundle is actually going to go in here. Okay. We're going to have another one matching other side. Well, let me show you how to put this one together. So I'm going to set that aside. Super simple. Oops. I am going to, this is a purple, I think it's just called a purple floral spray. You can get this at Craft Outlet. I'm just taking, there's like a short piece and a long piece, and I'm just pulling them down so I can get the length that I'd like. So I've got that piece here. Okay. Just like that. And now we're going to add in some lavender. So I'm going to grab my lavender spray. Oop. Do I have a larger spray? I have a longer piece. Let's see. Let me look. Hold, please. Me. This will work. So these are from Sims Pottery. This is my favorite lavender. So I'm going to use a big sprig like that. and pair that right in here with this and kind of just mix them together. Bring some things to the front, just like that, making sure they're all lined up at the bottom. Then I'm going to come in and add, Hobby Lobby sells this stuff. I think it's called like blue or purple ruffle flowers. So I'm just going to cut this one out. That is going right in the center. Okay, makes for a really nice look. And then we're going to add in some lilies. And so I'm looking for the one that has 3 on it. That one's a 2. That's a 3. So these are from Hobby Lobby. Going to remove that. Going to place that kind of right in the center. Do the same thing, just kind of blend everything together. But you want to make sure that your picks are all together at the bottom so that we can put a zip tie on them. So zip tie here. Nice and tight. I'm going to go up just a little bit higher just to make sure they're all secure. And then these two are going to get zip tied together. So got one, got the other. What we're going to do is we are going to zip tie one on top of the other, but these are kind of long, so I'm going to cut them down a bit. Just like that. Same thing here. Just going to even them up so that when we have an overlap, it's not a jumbo size overlap. So these are going to get kind of zip tied together just like this. So I'm going to grab a bigger zip tie. We're going to zip tie this right to the center. Just like this. And now we're going to build a bow. So what ends up happening here is all these flowers you can move around, but we need to put a bow in the center because then this is going to go right in the center, right here. Okay, we're going to have our flowers in the center and we're going to add our bow right in here. And then that is going to take up all that real estate in the center that we didn't have. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a bow before we go ahead and close the gap. So I am going to grab my Bodabra, and I have 4 different types of ribbon. So let's do like a 2-loop, 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 2-loop all the way through. I'm going to line these up so that, kind of like that layout. I might want this on the outside though. So let's do it that way. We'll put this as our outside loop. So I'm going to determine the length of my first ribbon tails, but I want to dovetail the end first. So just right here, nice dovetail end. So I'm looking right about here. So that's kind of like a really pretty nice look for that length. That's about 7 inches, which is great. So I'm going to go 7 inches. And I'm going to do 2 at 4. So I'm going to just make my loops. So as they're going in the Bodabra, here's my 7 inches. I'm twisting. I'm lining this up on the 10-inch line. Let's go 4.5. So the first one's going to be 4.5. I'm going to go up and over. Just kind of gauge it. Line it back up on your 10-inch line. Stretch this out. We're right at 4.5. I'm going to bring this all the way out to 7 inches. We're going to cut it. Dovetail, which is wired edges together. You're going to cut from the folded side to the wired point, just like that. So first ribbon, done. Second ribbon, we're doing the dotted line. And let's see, craft outlet, craft outlet, craft outlet, craft outlet. So all the ribbon from craft outlet. This one is pieced together, so I had an extra piece on there. So same thing, dovetail the end. And we're going to take this one to 6.5 inches. I'm going to bring him in just ever so slightly. And I'm going to do a 4-inch loop. So I'm always bringing it back to the 10, stretching it out, making sure it ends right at 4 inches. Up and over. Lining that up. Bringing this back out. Oops. To 6.5. Dovetail the end. There's that. Second bow down. Or second ribbon down. Third one, we're going to do 6-inch tail. And we're doing, I think I'll do this one, a 4-inch loop as well. So we'll have 2 at 4. So let's dovetail the end. So we're going to do 6 inches. Place that right inside. Flip that right up. Because we've already measured that dotted line, I'm going to put my finger in both and pull until they're the same. Same on this side. And then we need to take this out to 6 inches. Boom. Hey, look in that blue container right there. See if you can find a purple butterfly or a purple, maybe hummingbird or something. I'm having Steve look for another embellishment. And then this last one is going to be this will be 5.5 inches. Really short. Super cute. And we're doing 2 loops at 3.5 inches. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay. He found me a purple hummingbird. So that's just going to go in the center of our bow. Just to finish off the look. And then this one, 5.5. Can you have me a, do we have a lavender pipe cleaner in that thing? Or lavender? Yes, you purple. Yay, okay. There we go. All right. Bow's done. Simple bow. So I'm going to pick the whole thing up. I'm going to bend, should have bent my pipe cleaner ahead of time. So I'm just going to hold it at the bottom and rotate my stack. I think we're going to fluff this one on the floral stack. So because this is a downward facing bow, I'm going to pull all my ribbon tails down, just like this, making sure, and we have all the colors represented, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and tie this to the stack, right over that zip tie that we have in there. And then we'll line these up. I get it twisted. Okay, now let's fluff because this doesn't look pretty at all. So here we're ignoring the tails. So we're going to start with our top, and then our top. The next one, we're just going to split those. Okay. we'll go ahead and split these. And then the gingham, I think I'm going to leave it right in the center. So now I'm going to bring this one up. Just like that. So there's our happy, pretty little bow. Now to get the arc back in it, we're going to just draw that through your fingers. I hate it zoomed in like that. Then we're going to go here, pulling, just like so. And put that right in. So now I'm going to take that whole thing and we're going to go ahead and fasten that in. So I'm going to look and see, what do I need to do? Do I need to zip tie it, or can my pipe cleaner do it? I think if I add to my pipe cleaner, I might be able to get it to work. Let me extend the pieces on here because it's not quite long enough to go all the way through. So I'm going to add extensions, which is just twist the two together, just like that. So I have a little bit longer pieces to play with. Just like that. Elizabeth's like, you've gone over the top again. Well, thanks, Elizabeth. I think that is the goal, right? So I'm trying to go right in the corner and then right up to the top where we have our V in. Okay, twist, twist, twist. And then we'll refluff. Just like that. You can bring some of your greenery up to fill in that area. Same thing with some of your floral. You can kind of break them up a bit and bring them back up into that gap.
Give it lots of likes and loves.
So there's that. And then we said we were going to add the hummingbird, which Steve had right here. So I'm thinking we should add the hummingbird, but he has to have his sticker removed. Can't have that. So he's nice and pretty, little purple. Let me see how he would go in there. Let me see. So I'm thinking, ooh, he's got a really long, like, he can just, let me just kind of hook him so he doesn't go anywhere. And then let's put him on the door and then we'll adjust him. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like on the door. Going up, I feel like we're on a ladder. So, and angels coming off. The angel wings are going up. Trying to make sure I get it on my hook. I'm trying to make sure I have it on my hook. Because let me get the hook. There we go. Because if I tried to do it on the point just wants to toggle either or. We can bring our hummingbird up just like that. And whatever you want to do with your greenery is entirely up to you. But is it centered? I think it's centered. There we go. There is our angel wing tutorial. I need to bring some of these over here. So we have some greenery over here. But like Steve says, you could just do a big bow, put a big bow in the center. I like it when you add a little bit of greenery, a little bit of color, and then put your big bow in. So again, you can take it and fluff all your pieces of your angel wings. And like I said, got great coverage. If you want more separation, just split your rails apart a little bit since they're wired. Sorry. And then you have that perfect look all the way through. Thanks, Elizabeth. She said, Kat's a wonderful teacher and designer. Linda says, wowza, that's beautiful. Yeah, when I look at the one that I did 5 years ago, I'm like, I just shared it just so you can see improvement in not only the products, but methods and wreath bases. So, Linda said, would you spray it for poly for the outside? I don't spray any of my wreaths with anything. If you wanted to, you know, if you're going to put it on the grave side, what Steve mentioned was really good, because when we take this off, right, and we look at the back, so here's our back, right, we have these pieces here. So you could put stakes in them, zip tie them in, and then you could stake it into the grass. Just make sure your stakes are long enough. But that would be the way that I would do it if I was keeping it outside year round. So I'm trying to make sure I put it back up on that same piece. So just like so. Christina, absolutely beautiful. Ellie, you love the whole look. Okay. So, yeah, I'll zoom in so you guys can see. I love it too.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, I did not give you final dimensions though. Like how big of a box it would take to ship that in. This will be available for sale. I just have to go in and tabulate how much materials I put in, and then find out, okay, we did the heart frame, we did the 2 Unique in the Creek boards, we did 2 rolls of Deco mesh, we did the florals, we did the greenery, and then the bow. But I love it, you guys. I could totally see making a ton of these. And believe it or not, there are quite a few people that make them, and there's variations. Like if you were doing a purple spray, you could come in here in the center and add lavender in here, lavender deco mesh, and then go with a little darker royal purple, or like dark purple here, then lavender, and make it kind of have like a ombre shade to it. It was really pretty. Or you could do the whole thing in like different colors. Like you don't have to do it in white. You could do it like in these shades of purple. You could do lavender, then you could do a magenta, you could do a dark purple, and then just have those, the ombre look pop out. But I love it. I think it turned out really good. You can make multiple centerpieces, right? Joan's got a great idea. So yeah, Joan, she's like, make multiple centerpieces. So let's say, for example, that's great for spring or whenever, and you want to do them for the holidays. Just that floral centerpiece, make one for like patriotic, make one for fall, make one for Christmas with like poinsettias and stuff in there. But yeah, a multitude. Donna said, what would you say the total cost of creating versus the selling price? Depends on the cost of materials goes in, and then you either want to double or triple it, because you need to get your materials cost out. You need to get your time involved in putting it together tonight out of that. Because if you're just trading materials cost for materials cost, you're not in a business. This is a hobby. So you need to make something so that it gives you more to invest in better quality materials, better quality stuff for your tutorials. Will the replay have any audio issues? It shouldn't. Was there audio issues in this, Christiana?
Juana said your voice came in and out a little bit, but it might have been because you walked out to the back.
Oh yeah, so when I walk away, you can't hear my voice as well because I'm going to where the florals are. So, okay. Awesome. Well, thanks you guys for joining me. Share. If you guys want to help me out, share this video like crazy. Tag friends in it that you think would love it. And hats off to you guys if you make it and this becomes your thing. And you're just multi-talented in the different styles that you do to create it. All right. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you guys Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific.